I guess I was muted, but um, yeah, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Dream Set. I'm here with Amber, Nicole. My name's Nicole, yes. A lot of you know me, or maybe you don't. I don't know, but we're friends now. Thanks for being here. Um, yeah, me and Amber, we're going to start with a little bit of grounding before we hop into our conversation. So if you would like to join us, feel free to. Um, I've lit some copal incense here. Copal's very grounding, very purifying, and it just brings a lot of blessings into a space. So that is what I have. And if you want to sit, get in a comfortable position. You could be lying down or sitting in a comfortable um, position with your feet grounded. Maybe your palms on your thighs. We're just going to start with taking a few deep breaths. So um, we can start together. We'll inhale deeply, um, hold it for a second, and then exhale. When you exhale, feel free to make any noises that you need to make that your body wants to, release. That exhale is a release. So you go ahead and exhale completely first. And inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I like to start by acknowledging these unceded lands and territories that we occupy. Uh, I like to, here in Las Vegas, where myself and Amber are, um, the the traditional ancestral people of these lands are, the Southern Paiute and Wallapai tribes. So I want to just pay my respects and honor them for a moment. And if you're not aware of the traditional and ancestral people of the lands you occupy, maybe take some time today or this weekend to um, look up who those people are and start honoring them as well. And then I would like to bring my attention to gratitude. So much to be grateful for. And sometimes when we get in our habits and routines and patterns and behaviors, bringing that attention back to gratitude really helps me to break those patterns. So I'm grateful that you're here today, Nicole, that we get to have a wonderful conversation. I'm really grateful that uh, you know we we have we have the connections and the resources and the creativity and the volunteers who want to help put on an event like this. So thanks everyone for your support, and um, yeah, I'm just grateful for another day and another night. um, and then my intention for today is really to have a wonderful conversation with Amber, to hold space for us to share our experiences and to um, give people, hopefully, give them some tips on how to look for resources, whether it's mental health or other healing services in their communities. So, um, and Amber, if you feel free to share anything if you would like to as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for that. When you were like, I need to ground myself, I was like, yes. Like coming in hot from trying to find a plug for my light. Like transitioning from that energy to just being like, okay, I'm in a space now and taking moments for ourselves, which is very important. Um, and allowing ourselves to be human. Like we allow ourselves to be human enough. So we don't stop and take breaks throughout our day to just like breathe and connect with ourselves and transition from space to space.
Yes.
Like,
Um,
you go from space to another space, do you like take a moment?
you know, I do it more and more now because I'm aware of like sometimes I need like not like different spaces require different energy from you, and sometimes I sometimes I like get into like that super focus mode and forget that. But these days, like more and more, I try to find like, all right, I need to take a step outside, or I need to, um, you know, have a moment like this where I just take a few breaths and like take a break from what just happened before moving on into that next space, like you said. And that space doesn't have to be like a physical space. It doesn't have to be like, I'm driving across to, every store, or it could be like, well, I've been like focused in this project or in Twitter or in like, work or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Um,
or just like waking,
definitely.
transitioning from your like dream space
Hmm.
into this one and take a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of us don't realize how powerful it is to feed ourselves in the morning when we first wake up. Like, what is it that you feed yourself? Because if it's when you wake up in the morning, you just start downloading everything from the outside world
Mhm.
before you even take a moment to connect with yourself.
Yes. And that, like, I can see how that showed up, like, in all of my life until recently, too. Um, like, like, all of those years, just like sleeping in to the last minute and then having to rush to work or rush into class or rush to this or that. Um, and really, uh, recently, I've really just been loving to wake up early and like ease into the day, like whether
I
that's like reading or meditation, or
mhm.
working out or whatever it is, like doing something before I jump straight into the phone or like straight into work mode. Because once I'm in work mode, then that lasts like until I go to bed almost. But now
Yeah,
I'm like trying to have that transition period too between that and bedtime.
yeah. Time during your workday, like taking breaks for yourself
Mhm.
throughout your workday, you are more productive And I find it to be true too. Like more productive when you stop and take a break. I would if I take a break every hour or every like hour and a half or something like that, I'm way more productive than if I try to work and push through a whole day. So,
Yeah, definitely.
hi everybody, I'm Amber Nicole.
Hi, Amber.
uh, I am a holistic health enthusiast. I'm an herbalist, and I'm a human, and I like talking about being.
Yeah.
Also, connecting to your higher self and how that connects us to everything around us. Because honestly, that's another reason for the name of my shop, which is in downtown Las Vegas. It is a holistic health collective, so you'll find health and beauty products there from local creatives, and it's all deeply rooted because like everything is connected, and also the things that connect us and keep us like rooted to who we are, And also, I have another business called Dirty Little Hippie, and that's my herbalism business where I just connect people to the healing properties of plants. It's something that excites me every day, and it has changed my life. And if I can share that with a few people, I've done what I love to do, and I really appreciate you, Nick, for having me on here today. It's been a while since I've been able to like talk to someone in this environment. So, of course, at first it's like a little uncomfortable, you know, a little uncomfortable, and then you're like sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just like here talking to my friend.
Yeah, and it's great because we have such fun things to talk about and we have such fun things to share with each other, and like we have these great conversations every time we get together, and I'm glad that we get to share some of that with people.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I met Amber quite a few, I want to say at least 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember now, but like Shook Boys, like when we first started sharing our art with the people outside of our houses, it was with our fashion, and so we really loved fun, like flashy festival fashion, and we started meeting people and they told us to show up to some fashion shows. We're like, we don't know what we're doing, but okay. And Amber was there and she was like always like the I feel like almost every fashion show that we did, you were one of our models. And so we have some really great photos. And I remember the first one time that I saw you, I was like, I feel like we're gonna be really good friends, and we've just stayed in touch
That,
since then. And I've got to learn a lot about you. Like I
that was my first fashion show as an adult, and everyone was so great. And you guys made me feel so like badass.
I'm so glad to hear that because you are badass. And over the years, I've got to learn a lot more about you. Like at first, we just saw each other at the fashion shows a lot, or like if we would run into each other at different events. And then I learned that you were an herbalist, and then we started having different kinds of conversations. And I remember like you've come over to my house a few times for like some new moon circles,
Yeah.
um, and like we've come over to the shop, and and, and we have such good conversations. And I just would love to learn, or I would love the audience to hear more about like kind of what inspires you to do the work that you do. What inspired you to, and where did it start? Did it start with plants or?
I think it's uh, my own personal journey into figuring out how to take care of myself and how to show up for myself and how to, be well. And especially when You come from an environment where you are in the survival mode
Mhm.
and you are surrounded by other people who are in the survival mode. I know as a child, I did grow up around plants because my grandfather had a garden, and also I was always in the kitchen with him because I love like the fact that we could go out and we would like pick peas, and then we would like freaking get the peas and the green beans, corn and everything, and, and then make it ourselves in the kitchen. And then after, so I was in the army for like 7 years in my early 20s. I'm 31 now. Um,
What? I did not know this about you.
yes, I was in the army since from like 19 to like 27. Um, yes, I was in the Army Reserves. I'm a science nerd, so science stuff. Then I went to school for biology for a little bit, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a botanist and I'm going to be a plant scientist. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to go this route of like the way that I connect with plants. Less scientific, more just like the healing properties of them and how they connect to like the spiritual side as well.
Plant spirit medicine.
Yeah, so I started to study that and just like being able to do things with my hands because that's one thing I really love too about like the science, like being able to like experiment and and create things that are organic and that connect with ourselves in an organic way. So yeah, when I got out of the army, I got more into that, and I was also not in the best place mentally and like health wise. My health was not good. I was like bartending on the strip and like downtown, and like I was out a lot, so then I would end up like drinking a lot after work, and it just like I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good, and I didn't feel connected, and I didn't feel like I was being true to myself. I feel like there was like a part of me that's like, okay, what are we doing? Like, you want more. And if that part of you like gets loud enough, like it's not gonna go away. It's still gonna be there. And so I just found little ways to take care of myself. And I found that with herbalism, I could make myself a tea that could aid me with this or that, or I could like grow something, and that ended up branching out to like me wanting to show other people these things, but also just like taking care of myself in a holistic way, because when it comes to herbalism and like plant medicine and like holistic care, it's like there's no one size fits all, and I think that's like one of the stigmatisms when it comes to the wellness community is that like you got to get on this plan and this regimen and this diet, and you got to be vegan, and you got to go to yoga every day, and you got to make sure you're doing all your affirmations and you're drinking your morning coffee and all the things that you might think that is, but what it actually is just getting to know yourself and how you operate. If you're a person who 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 cycles through the day where they're more active during the day and they're, more tired towards the night. You're not going to get off work and go work out. So you might want to plan your workout in the morning. Um, you're not going to go from the way you eat to quitting, like dropping sugar, because like sugar is addictive, and you're not going to be able to just like drop meat and just be like become vegan overnight. So just like having realistic views and like showing compassion to yourself like is what holistic health is about. And I have people come to me and they're like, oh, I would like can you give me, is there like a herb or a tea? And I was like, I can give you all things too, but you know what, I can't like make you show up for yourself and and stick to this and take it every day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. It really, like all of these practices really do help. And when they all come together and when they feel right for you and there's a consistency, that's really when you feel that wellness, and it looks different for everyone. Like for me, like
Mhm.
it really includes, like, I need to tell myself that I love myself on a regular basis. I need to do my affirmations. I need reflection time. I need to run or work out when the sun is out most of the time, or else it doesn't get done. Like, and this has taken like years and years of like trial and error and like being that scientist of like studying myself, right? Like, what are
Mhm.
the things that work? What are the things that don't work? And when they don't work, like, don't fight it.
'Cause it's like it's about how like learning how you move through the world, not how
Mhm.
it moves through you. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you start to get to know yourself in that way and take care of yourself like you would take care of anyone else. I myself, I know that I need rest, and I need sometimes full days to not talk to anyone whatsoever. And that's not, I used to feel guilty about it and this and that, but I'm like, hey, like that's me as a person. That's how I recharge. Of course, I'm not going to like leave anything out into the wind, but if I know that like I need some space for myself, and I'm not going to force myself into things. Or if I know, like, hey, maybe today I want to eat a freaking ice cream cone with chocolate syrup and like Oreo cookie crumbles on it today.
Yeah, like today I totally had a blizzard from Sonic with Oreos. And like I remember a time in my life when it was like I was eating ice cream like every day.
Mhm.
Maybe not every day, but like multiple times a week, and it was a comfort. It was like super delicious, and it still is, but like I don't need it every day. And I actually feel way better when I don't eat it every day.
Yeah, you're conscious
And
of
And now yeah, and
like
now when I do, it's like, wow, I can really, like, savor this and enjoy this. It's not, like, mindless. It's like it's a
yeah,
treat. It's really nice. Yeah.
yes, mindless. Mindless is a good word. Uh, yes, mindlessly going through things and just going through motions and
Yeah.
not actually getting to live and experience your life in that way. Yeah. Also, it's hard like these past like few years, and that's why I'm thankful for the people around me. Like the people around me lately have really been showing me that like support is everything, and we all need support, and we can't feel like it's every man for themselves out here. Um, and of course, you're not going to be able to connect with everybody, but like I'm telling you, your people are out there.
Yeah. I mean, how have you found your people?
I've honestly found my people by putting myself in places that I felt ugh, like that kind of scared me a little bit. um, I feel like stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like felt like maybe going to a certain activity I might have saw around my city because like hey I am interested in these things but like I've never been to something like that, so yeah, that's like kind of scary, but like hey, if I'm interested in those things, aren't the people like I want to be around also interested in those things? um I've met a lot of people, looking at local events like on my like Eventbrite, or just Facebook is a really cool one. I remember when I started my more spiritual journey. It had been like 2 years into like herbalism, and then I was like really into geology and and then crystals, all of that good stuff. Um, a little bit after getting into that and just going into like the more spiritual realm before like getting into Reiki, just I would go to like different Reiki circles and meet people. like volunteering and giving back into your community is a great way to just see what's going on with your community, and your community is the people that you see every day. And I think it's really important for us to look out for each other.
Yeah, definitely. I like what you said about you find your people when you like put yourself out there in
Hmm.
those situations because it's absolutely true. And it's funny you say that because I actually heard a conversation the other day where somebody was um, like, how are you gonna find like that perfect man if like you don't leave the house? And it's like and it made me laugh because and going off what you just said too is like it's so true because like a lot of the people I met is it came from those situations where like this is something new and putting myself out there. Like the first big time I can think of is like when I moved away from Las Vegas to go to college all by myself and in like a new place or when yeah, or like even now, like we're doing this recording for Dream Set, and that's a really big part of that is like the is our online community in Cardano and in NFTs and um I it's been less than a year and I've met so many people from around the world and it's from being out in a space that um you may it may at first not be what you're used to, but you're getting out there and you're learning and you're growing and you're connecting with new people who are doing the same thing and are interested in the same things that you are. So yeah, I 100% agree.
Yes, and it also starts with how you're going to treat other people and take care of other people around you is going to be a direct reflection of how you take care of yourself. So
Yes, and how you take care of yourself is how you take care of other people too. So
setting up those boundaries, like
mm,
be able to sometimes be like, hey, like I can't show up for people if I'm not showing up for myself. Like if you're in a place and you are trying to get out of it and you're trying to, move move on to a healthier place, grow, grow from it. It's okay. Like, you're going to have growing pains. It's going to be uncomfortable. And if that means that you need to like separate yourself from anything that is taking your peace away, okay, or anyone, so that you can realign yourself, that is your divine right. That is your given right, okay, because you cannot be showing up as 25% of yourself if you are on 25% battery, because you're not going to be able to just call on your willpower at 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 May. Like, you have to realize you need to charge yourself, and it's okay. And I tell people, like, hey, if you're going through something like you've never been through, if you've been in a place like if you've been in a dark place for a while, you're going it's going to take you some time to get out, and you need to be compassionate and yourself, and that means surrounding yourself with nothing but things that bring you joy and people who don't take that away from you.
yes, 100%. Like, if we do not care for ourselves first, then it the rest of anything that we love doing is not sustainable. Whether that's like showing up for other people or our passions and our hobbies or our work, like none of it's sustainable if we can't take care of ourselves. And like, there's been so many times in my life where I like was so oblivious to that, like
Yeah.
especially being like having this calling within me to help others, like this like super empathetic, like being a like receiving that healing gift from like my familial line. Like it's so easy for us to be like called to help other people all the time, and um it's easy to give it it was easy for me to give all of myself to someone else without giving anything to myself because I didn't think I was worthy of it. Like I
Yeah,
was like everybody else is, but I didn't think I was.
right. Giving everybody the most compassion and understanding and talking the most shit to yourself.
Hmm. And that goes
Like
back to
I
yeah, definitely. And that goes back to my statement, like what I said earlier, like I literally have to tell myself I love myself every day because I can fall back into that. I know that that is a real possibility. And so like showing that consistent like compassion and kindness and love for myself is the only way that I can do stuff like this like on a regular basis. Like so yeah, I think that's a really, really important point. And I think I think before we yeah, I would like to touch upon like
yeah.
how maybe you went about like finding resources when you first started your journey and maybe like the work that you do now to help share those resources with people.
Yeah, so the help that I do now to share resources, like, through either my shop, which I said is downtown, or my monthly gatherings. I have one coming up. It's a an herbal yoga workshop where we incorporate herbal teas into our yoga practice. That way, we're educating people, we're bringing in new healing modalities, and it's beginner friendly. It's open to everybody, every kind of body, everybody to come in. Also, your resources start with the people around you. Like, if you need to have friends and people that you can be able to ask for help. And also, if you're looking to, get help from a professional, see what kind of healthcare resources or clinic resources you have in your area, like to get out and talk to someone. And also to get out and connect with community is like, yeah, you have to put yourself out there and like search for it. If anybody, here is local, you will be able to find me. I'm sure Nick will put in here, you'll be able to find me and we can talk more. But
Mhm.
yes, there are plenty of resources around you, but it really starts with you opening yourself up and putting your foot out there, and not being afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, 100%. Like that is so this may sound cliche, but it's for a reason. Like the
Mm-hmm.
first step is like acknowledging that you need help.
Yeah,
And then the next step is actually being able to say, "Hey, I need help." And that can be really hard.
they need help.
Mhm.
Like I'm telling you, like it's going to just like get some of this weight off of you. You don't need to carry
Mm.
all of this around by yourself. The thing about love and the way that we connect with each other is through just like our commonalities, like the things
Mhm.
that make us human. Like that's when we feel an in-depth connection. And yeah, don't be afraid to be human and give yourself grace and compassion, to love yourself and to know like you're gonna be great, and you're allowed to walk around, and you're allowed to have confidence, okay, and you're allowed to live the life that you want, and help others along the way, because that matters as well. I feel like once you get to a place to where you know how important it is to have that sort of support system, you become a support system for other people.
Definitely. Um, Something that I read recently was that the greatest the greatest service to other people is taking care of our wellness because when we take care of our wellness, we naturally take care of the people around us. Like when we are loving and caring for ourselves, that just ripples out and spreads out to the people around us, and it inspires other people to do the same as well. I know like some resources that I've used in the past, or um, like things that I have done when I've needed help. Like if you're a student at a college or university, or even in high school or middle school,
Yeah,
any kind of student, like all of these institutions have mental health services available to students, and most of the time they're free or really reduced. And I definitely took advantage of that in my graduate program. Um, Here in Las Vegas, I mean, there was a couple of years that I was unemployed, and I needed help. Like my sister had passed away, and that was really hard, and I didn't have insurance because I was unemployed. So I found out that there was like that there was a behavioral health institute that they provide services based on your income. So, and a lot of cities and states have these as well. So, if you do some research, you could reach out to them. And for me during that time, it was free to talk to someone and even get medication and anything that I needed at the time. Um, and then just like Amber said, like finding those holistic healers, or like someone you feel comfortable in the community. Like if there's a topic that you're interested, if you've been, if something's been calling your attention a lot, um, like if you need Olympia, or if you need a tarot card reading, or you need some yoga, like
yeah.
there's
Things that you connect with. Like I have people that are like, they go and they do jujitsu because it just like clears their mind. But those are like their people now, you know, like get
Mhm,
there and like just start doing, enjoying life and like
mhm.
your comfort zone in that way. Like I don't know, I just like feel like you only discover things about yourself by putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and making room for those new experiences.
Yeah, because you never know. Like, how do you know unless you try something? And then once you try it,
Mhm.
this isn't for me. Like, you're allowed to move on.
Yeah, and everything is like when you just dip your toes in things, and you learn so much about yourself, and it might unlock some things for you you've never even explored before.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, is there I feel really good about our conversation, to be
I
honest.
feel great about our conversation.
Is there anything that you would like to share with any viewers before we hop off?
Um, don't forget, you can always create the spaces you want to see in the world. If you
Yes,
don't see a space that you know in your area, you could be the one that creates it.
definitely. And if you're not sure where to start, like reach out to someone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you know what, reach out to me. My Instagram, it's either at deeply rooted LV or at dirty little hippie. You can find all my contact information there. I have no problem connecting. You know, if I don't have something to give you, I will connect you with someone who can help. So
Yes, and same goes for me. If you're in the NFT space, CNFT space, y'all probably already know how to reach out to me. If not, just send me a DM. Um, they're not there right now, so I'm not sure where to point, but tax will be somewhere down here. So, and they'll also be on the website as well. So you should be able to find Amber pretty easy. And if you have any questions or anything, we're here for you. And we love you all. Amber, thank you so much.
thank you for having me, love. Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, me. Well, maybe we'll we'll see. I so like I was feeling really tired before this, but when I connect with people in a setting like this, I get super energized. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, I'll
But
talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. Rest well.
Bye, love.